Hey everyone, it's Miguel here. I want to thank you for joining me on my YouTube channel. Here on my YouTube channel, we talk about leadership and leadership qualities to help you develop and grow in leadership. I think it's so important to be able to surround yourself with people that nourish your vision. And part of what we've been doing here lately on this channel is providing to you a 10-part series titled The 10 Qualities of a Great Leader. So I want you to stick around as we jump into video number 3. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Miguel Lebron, and for over 10 years, I've worked in leadership. My experience in leadership actually started in the church. If you grew up in the church, let me know in the comment section below. But my mom used to take me to church, and I drifted away, and then early teens, I came back, and that's where I actually developed in my leadership. And the beautiful thing was that what I learned there, I actually took it to work, and so I began to grow in my job. I began to grow in my position. And the beautiful thing about that is that I actually became better at teaching, at learning, at listening, at growing, at coaching, at mentoring. So I've been able to help people launch podcasts, start their projects, and take it from concept to conception. And that's what we do here. We help you take that vision of success and make it a reality. We help you develop, learn, and grow as a leader. Well, we're here on part number 3 of this series where we're covering the 10 qualities of a great leader. The 10 qualities of a great leader. Quality number 1, the individual who wants to be a great leader must lead from the inside out. It has to come from a place of grace and not a place of greed. I'm going to go ahead and put the link above so you can check that out. It'll also be in the description below. I'm also going to leave below the link to second video, part 2 of this particular series, where we talk about preparing for the future. The great leader has to prepare for the future. And so to do this, you understand the vision, you understand what the mission is, you surround yourself with individuals who can help propel the mission, who can help lead and guide towards that goal. But you also have to begin to look to your side and say, okay, who is going to be the person who's going to take it to the next level? Who's going to be the person who's going to carry the mantle, so to speak, and going to continue to further this along? Because the fact of the matter is, as I touch on that video, neither you nor I are guaranteed more than 24 hours. In fact, 24 hours aren't even guaranteed, right? And so in knowing that the future isn't guaranteed, we enjoy today, we prepare for the future. That's video number 2, and that is one of the qualities that a great leader should have. But today on video number 3, where we talk about that quality that the leader has to have, the great leader, I want to start off with a story. When I was a kid, I remember we used to watch this show. This particular show was called Family Matters. Have you heard of it? Go ahead, if you've heard of Family Matters, let me know in the comment section below. If not, well, it's a wonderful show. Family Matters has to do with this family and the dynamic of growing teens and their challenges, and their grandmother's there, their father's a cop, and I mean, just the aunt, she moves in as well. And so there's a big cast, a beautiful ensemble. But what we also see in this show, Family Matters, is one of the main, if not the main character, even though it surrounds his family, who his name is Steve Urkel. And Steve Urkel is this skinny, nerdy looking kid. It was before being a nerd was considered to be cool. And so what happens is that Steve Urkel is not just a nerd, but he's also known for being this type of individual that stumbles and says, if you tell him there's a birthday party coming up, he would blurb it out without meaning to do it, without any malicious thought. It would just slip out. He would also stumble along, right? And so the problem was that in the episodes, you would many times see him make a mistake and tell somebody, hey, there's a birthday party for you coming up. And of course, it wasn't supposed to be told. So now they have to figure out when to move the birthday party, or he thought that somebody needed help. And of course, there he is being clumsy, fumbling and throwing and falling. And all of a sudden you have a garage falling on top of someone, or you have some type of explosion. And of course, conflict resolution and a lesson is learned. But what we see from this character, Steve Urkel, is something that I want to present to you here today, because Steve Urkel, if you've never seen the show before, Steve Urkel on the show Family Matters had a quote, had a saying. This was his tagline. And so every time he would do something silly or crazy or make a mistake, you knew he was going to say this tagline. And all of a sudden, in the middle of the show, he would say, "Did I do that?" And I just remember those moments where he would say this, and it would bother me many times. Like, yeah, you did it. You know you did it. You're the one who did it. But I want to take a moment here to say that quality number 3 of a great leader is that the individual takes responsibility, and they ask the very important question that Steve Urkel would ask in every episode, because at almost every episode he would make a mistake, and he would always turn around by asking, did I do that? And I think that many leaders want to be great leaders. I believe you want to be a great leader, but in being a great leader, you have to take responsibility. Many times there are leaders who will look at everyone else and say, okay, he's got the blame, or she's got the blame, or it's her fault that the project wasn't done, that we didn't reach the goal, that we didn't reach the deadline. No. Sometimes, guess what, leader? It falls on you, it falls on me, it falls on our doorsteps, and we've got to turn around like Steve Urkel and say, did I do that? Because the beautiful thing about Steve Urkel in these episodes in this series, Family Matters, is that he would then turn around and he would try to help. Now, granted, it would make things worse because he was stumbling and fumbling and clumsy but he always had this genuine heart. And so there was something about this character that you just loved and you rooted for him, because you understood that he wasn't really trying to be malicious. He wasn't really trying to be rude and ruin plans. He wasn't really trying to hurt anybody. He really wanted to know, was it my fault, and how could I make it better? And I think that's what's missing many times in leadership. Many times in leadership, it's easy to put the blame. I mean, how many times have you been in the position where they put the blame on you at your job and it wasn't you? I know many times that my superiors, we've had that situation happen. I've had that experience before where I've had to say, hey, guess what? The blame isn't mine. Now, granted, if the blame is mine, I'll take it. But there are leaders that have to realize, and this is very important, as a leader, you have to understand that the people will follow your cue, will follow your lead. But man, you cannot fail in asking the crucial, critical question, did I do that? Is it my fault that we're in this situation? Did I steer the ship wrong? Did I make the wrong call? Did I make the wrong decision? And if you did, fine. Call everyone, admit it, listen, learn, and lead. That doesn't disqualify you as a leader. Transparency only helps you as a leader. Transparency only helps you as a leader. In fact, you transcend. And then it's not just being looked at as a leader, as someone who's up there at the mountaintop high, who can't be touched and reached, but rather everyone understands that you are human and that you make mistakes. And not only that, but that you're willing to admit them. You're willing to admit the mistakes. You know, we live in a world where everyone wants to put filters and changes and all of these beautiful things to make it all beautiful. And nobody wants to step on anybody's toes, and everybody wants to be politically correct. The fact of the matter is that mistakes sometimes will be made. And when they are, ladies and gentlemen, we have to ask the crucial question, did I do that?